All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, someone's calling my phone right now. That's terrible timing. Anyway, welcome to Pre-Market Prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin with you for the last half hour of today's session. Another day of mostly green here across the board. Pockets of red here and there, but it's a good day. It's a good day in the market. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about earnings we had. We'll talk about earnings to come. We'll talk about the airlines. And then, surprise guest, at 4 o'clock, I'll be joined by the co-founder and CEO of PubMatic, ticker PUBM, Rajeev Goel. It'll be at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, let's bring up Mr. Elconin's charts and wrap up the day. How are we doing so far?
Good. Just heads up here. I'm getting some flickering lights as a storm moves in through this area. So poof, if I'm gone, then you'll know I lost power.
Okay. Wait, time out. I thought you had a generator.
I do, but when we go down, then the generator thinks for a second, okay, is it coming back? So I got to shut down before it comes back up. It doesn't, because you don't want to have, because sometimes it's just like a poof and then it comes back. And then if the generator kicks on, you can have some problems. So, but anyways, people don't want to hear that. They want to hear what's going on in the markets. And how many times we say this? Well, we opened up 930, 41.75, and we're very close to that level. Couldn't take out the pre-market high early. We're making another attempt here late in the session. Peeled back a little bit over mid-range, caught the low of the intraday range right on the close. You don't think closing numbers are important? Well, then you got to come to that seminar on August 21st, and we'll talk about how important those closes are. Crude, it's got to move a couple bucks a day. Maybe a 68 resistance. Nope, blew through there. Up a buck at 69.29. Gold showing its metal, up 21.40 at 17.53.10. Silver's a laggard. Silver's only up a dime at 23.50. Bitcoin in the green by 8.35. Ooh, look at that, bunching up at 47K. And Ethereum, that's up $97 at 3,250.
All right, let's start with Moderna here. I am so glad that I don't know if it's laziness or what, but I like to let ideas ruminate and marinate for a while in my head before I do anything about it. I'm not a very spontaneous person when it comes to buying or selling, generally speaking, because if I was, I would have bought Moderna at some point during this ridiculous rally, and I probably wouldn't have sold it if I know me. So Moderna is down $100 today. Pretty wild move for a stock that had doubled in less than a month from $250 to basically $500. Not quite, but almost. Just a stunning reversal on Moderna. And the thing that I don't think I definitely didn't say this, but I wish I had now is, you can believe in Moderna and believe in the technology. And if you want to say Moderna is a double in a year, I'd buy that. But is it a double in a month? I don't know if I can buy that. 250 to 500 in a month is a little bit much for me. So you're seeing it come off here today, Joel. Thoughts?
Yeah, boy, oh boy. I mean, this thing is just a beast. And you got a little signal yesterday with that red candle, right? That's something that we look out for.
Yeah.
Also, the pre-market prep plus crowd likes to keep an eye on not just the all-time high, but the all-time closing high. And that was 484.47. Yeah, it pierced it both it pierced it yesterday when it went above that level all the way to 97.49, but sold $40 off of the close. So it's funny how the price action kind of precedes the news, right? And I was just thinking of this thing, I'm thinking, man, this thing, it had the good news, and then it got added to the S&P 500. And I was thinking to myself, I never said this on the show, so I'm not going to take credit. But I
Yeah.
was thinking, this thing is priced to perfection,
Yeah.
absolute perfection. And you didn't get it. Give me the news. There's some news. Some European people are. European regulators are looking at some of the side effects. Is that what I saw?
That is a headline today, yes, but
Yeah.
I don't think that headline is why Moderna is down. What is it down? It's done. It's not down 100 today. It's down.
No, 71.
Okay, but it's down $113 since yesterday morning.
Yes.
So, so I don't think that headline is why we are down. I
No,
mean,
no. I mean,
no.
it's a confluence of things. And just the things I wish, and maybe I'll try and do this more during the event. I like to, I look at charts, and you can see things on charts. But when I look at, and this is one reason I like TradeStation, when I look at things in a tabular form, I just kind of get a better feeling. And I'll pull this here, and you see this daily low yesterday of 554 even, right? That
Mm-hmm.
was the highest low it ever made by $44. So that doesn't automatically mean that if it takes out 454, that it's going to 409.66. But when you see that, something goes up, if you can learn anything from the show, when something goes up quickly through an area, it can come down even quicker, through the area. So you got the red bar yesterday. You just kind of ran out of buyers there. That day it made the all-time high at 93.46, 43 million traded. The following day, the down day, it only traded 36 million. So there weren't enough momos out there, to keep it going to that psychological $500 level. So now the question is, boy, two red bars like that. Huh. I mean, I know someone had some put spreads and someone covered some shorts in this, but I mean, what do you see at
Sure, I certainly,
350,
yeah, yeah.
344? What were you going to say?
No, certainly, I certainly hope shorts are covering or longs are taking profits or
Somebody's
I
making
certainly
money.
hope so. And as the chat astutely noted, of course, it is not just Moderna today. BCRX
Yeah.
it had itself was up overnight, but is down here today. And you can look at Pfizer, which had a great day.
Yeah, that move in Pfizer, I don't know about that, man.
Maybe in hindsight, that was the tell. Pfizer gets to an all-time high. You're like, okay, what are we doing here?
I know. And boy, oh boy, I don't know if it was on this show or the 9 a.m. show, and I looked at this Pfizer setup, and I don't know. I think the apes went crazy yesterday. They got out of the AMC and they went to town. How was AMC doing today? Oh boy, holding 30. But what I think when I looked at this, and this was a setup, the way it blew through paper yesterday, yesterday it blew through, and these are big levels to trade 82 million. I mean, it blew through sellers at, 46 and a half, 47, 47 and a half, 48, 48 and a half. I'm telling you, that's why you had the big volume. That might be one of the biggest volume updates you've seen in Pfizer in quite some time. And so then when you back off that level, that 48.57, you close at 48.19. And it was a little bit weak in the pre-market. Let me bring up the pre-market chart here to better illustrate what I'm talking about. It was hanging in the 47s. And this is about when we were talking about it on the show. So what I do is I say, okay, I don't think, just the way this thing is acting this morning, red, even though, the market reacted good to the jobs number, and this is a component in the S&P. I'm thinking, what's the next? What's going to be the reload of the people that didn't get out yesterday in that crazy move? And it came to 48. I'm just thinking 48. That's the next round number. Now, you did get through it by just a tad, but boom, 48. I bet you there was good size there. You went to 48.08. And then when you opened 47.78, clicked 808 quickly, and then when you came down quick through that open, it was everyone wanted out of the pool. We haven't quite got to yesterday's low yet, so we'll be important tomorrow. We're off the low for the day, for just a tad at 46.26. 45.89 was a 2-day low. Bulls better step up at 46 tomorrow, or else I'll be looking for some more downside. Not a lot under this 45.89 low from yesterday.
Okay, let's move on from vaccine stocks. Let's talk about Coinbase. They're all talking about that. A few of them
Wow.
about that in chat. What a reversal. 294 got to this morning. Again, it was a good report. I thought the fact that it was not higher in the pre-market was reflected in the idea that everybody on Wall Street knows that the trading activity and the volumes in crypto are in the quarter that we're in now are going to slow down when they report next time around. I was a little bit surprised to see it catch the bid that it did at the open, but I'm not really surprised by that reversal because again, all they did was lower the bar. They the numbers were great for last quarter, but that's last quarter.
You could have twisted sister on this one. I talked about the 280, 282 level, and you made quick work of that in the first hour of the day. Nothing to lean on here. I didn't have any level. Where did it close this day? Closed at 83.61. So there was really, the only way that you caught this is if you were just a scale up seller. Probably, a little more size at, 285, a little bit more size at 286, 287, because there's nothing there. I mean, a lot of people might think, okay, this is going to 300 today. I'm going to get out at 299.99 or something like that. Then it turned, and now coming back towards the low of the session. So still up on the day. Just don't like when a stock gives back that much from the high. Two things. Oh, did I miss my opportunity? And I need to, sell into weakness. So this is a tough one, but below the current low, we'll see what happens. We're resting on it right now. 274.35. Below that, your next daily low. I'll give you a level to split two levels. $3. Let's call it 266. Your next stopping point on the downside. That splits Monday's low 67.5 and Tuesday's low of 64.25.
Okay, there's a bunch of stuff to talk about. Joel, on the pre-market show today, we talked about, for more than a minute, it felt like, about AMC, but we never talked about AMC on the actual show. I talked about it a little bit after you left, but would be curious to hear your thoughts on AMC. We did not talk
29. We got the 29.40. I mean, you can lean on 29 all you want. I mean, yesterday was an important day, gave back the gains. I mean, it's still holding. I mean, you still got this low here on this day. They came in before the big move, 28.53. You got 28.91, the low here. And today you dipped under 30, and now you're back up at 31.40. So, I mean, it's still on support. Not exactly bolting away from it. Earnings weren't exactly the panacea the folks were looking for. But what do we got? We got about 14 minutes to the close. So pretty much it's going to close around this area. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Yesterday's close, all the up and all the down, 31.75. It looks like we're going to close close to that area tomorrow. So also today's high. So, I mean, if this thing shows some metal tomorrow, gets above, today's high, 30, 32, holds, yeah, maybe we got a chance from the upside. You just don't, when you have stocks on a low of the move, don't move off earnings. You don't like them hanging out around the low too long. Alfred says, yes, I have Amazon, and he has a vertical spread on for Friday. But what kind of spread? I assume it's a call spread. If it's a call spread, I don't like that it broke the low of the move here. That is concerning. You did hold that area, so I don't know. You're going to be a big rally in the market, but it looks like you did take out the low for the move, closing near the low. So until you get back above the low, the low of, let's say 3,300, you still got a chance. You just don't want to see a 3,300 high tomorrow and then back off. But new low of the move, it wasn't just, and at least right now, it was not an immediate buy the dip opportunity, Amazon, after its Q2 report.
I hear Perry barking. That must mean the weather's getting bad out there.
You do?
Yeah.
You got some good ears.
Your dog has some pipes.
She's all the way. Oh, man, I should have closed the door. Yep, the dogs are barking.
That must mean the weather. A few people in chat are saying they're...
It's dark.
Yeah, it is dark. It is dark. It's dark where I am too, and you and I are 30 miles away, 20 miles away from each other. So yeah, it's dark for sure.
Hey, have you been caught in the lodge at all in any of those floods on the lodge? When that's been flooding, or you managed to avoid it?
I haven't had any problems. No.
Good. Okay,
let's talk about real quick. We had another hack today. It was Accenture, ACN. So the low of the day coincides with that. They seem to always buy the dip on these, unless they're like serious, company changing hacks like what like Sony had, or
it's not moving. It's not really
not
really moving.
Yeah. No. Anyway, and so you had that, and then we did not cover Wayfair this morning. I saw this yesterday, and then I kind of forgot all about it. But they announced a $1 billion buyback plan yesterday after the close.
Just before the Accenture, Accenture shareholders, let's just call it 316. I mean, you got one. Ooh, how many of those do you have here? 1, 2, 3, right at the 1550, 1585 level. They couldn't push it below that level this morning, so that's the good news. The bad news is someone's targeting this 322 area to get out of a big piece. Your last three highs between 2206 and 2237. There's your setup in ACN.
Well,
and then
it just got noticeably darker.
Is there a tornado or something?
It was already dark, but now it is noticeable.
Oh man! Well, anyway, if I hop under my desk, that means I hear the siren go off.
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
What was the next stock?
Wayfair, $1 billion buyback.
Boy, they like that, huh? They say that they were sending a market order to buy immediately. This stock had already had some momentum going to the upside. There's not enough highs here at 310.66. This, it was an inflection point in July that it sold off on. So a lot of people are going to be, wiping their brow. Hey, it got back to 310. I got out. And I don't know. It looks wide open between 310 and 320. Let's see how we close. This would be one that, tomorrow morning, let's say we close right here. The kind of bar you want to see is, you have a low right here and it just starts moving up right away. Big 2-day move off the, it's actually a 3-day move now. So looking a little long in the tooth, how high did we get? Did we get over 310 today? 309.93. We're still pressing pretty good volume, folks. But when they do these buybacks, it doesn't mean that they're going to do it on strength. They could be doing it on a weakness. They prefer to do it on weakness.
It's true. Yes, Gino, I saw Joby. The ticket that's back was today. So JOBY is your new ticker for Joby Aviation.
What was it?
I don't know.
All right, up 353.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say much. $17 resistance. That's about all I see.
On the earnings front, where's my calendar? Solar up to answer your question. No, there is no calendar that I know of, at least, that separates earnings by sector. I think that's something you just gotta. Maybe we can make it though. Maybe we can.
Don't tell Raz, man. He'll have you on that. You'll be staying late at the office doing that.
Neo is tonight. eBay. Probably tonight, no filing, but maybe press release tonight in eBay. Bumble, Duolingo, which just had their IPO. Blink is interesting. Clover Health has been an absolute dog. We talked about that one this morning. Mitch and I did. Baidu and IQ tomorrow morning is super notable to me. Anyway, so Neo is interesting here. Neo, eBay, the Blink. Those are probably the three interesting
Blink.
ones for me.
So Neo, I've talked about 44 to
Oh, Palantir.
46. I'm sorry.
And Palantir. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, 44 to 46, kind of leaning on the lower end of the recent trading range. Don't get too faked out if you clear 46. You're got man, these three highs here come in. Well, that's closer to 47. Where are these highs here? They're above that. So right now, we'll give you a 3-star resistance right here at this high, just a little bump up, 46.38. Then they got another buck up to 47.5. You lose this 44 on a downstroke. Next support comes in closer. I'm going to give you the major support. That's going to be 41.60. That splits the lows from January 29th and January 30th.
Okay, there's a few more things. Oh no, I had so many things I wanted to address. Now I'm blanking. There's a few more things I'd written down.
You gave me those other earnings stocks like really quick.
Wait, let's do Palantir because I'm sorry.
Palantir,
Tomorrow. This is tomorrow morning.
Range. Home on the range, 2250. That big move you had to May, from the May low, 1740 up to 10, right there. Everything comes in 22 and a half. Right now, the buyers are standing. They're defending this 2180 area. So on a decline, see what happens there. On a spike up, you got to not much here. It's tight. And nothing else. Well, I'll say this. This high from yesterday, 2352, getting a couple confirmations with 3 other highs right at the 2330 area. So not bad numbers, 22, 23 and a half for Palantir.
And let's look at eBay.
Do they have earnings? They don't have earnings.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
They do.
Yes.
66. That's your number on the downside. Last 3 lows, splits 66. So that's not even a good number. 65. Let's call that. That's what I'm looking for. 3 lows, 65.07 to 65.35. The 3-year last few lows. Buyers stepped up ahead of the report. So let's sit under 65. Look out. You might be testing this triple bottom here at lower 63 handle. On the upside, today's high, you're pressing up against it. That's the good thing. Bad news is just above it. Oh, wow. 68.80. This thing's tight. Let's see if it trades tight after the report.
Okay, last 5 minutes. Drop your tickers in chat and we'll take a look. Is this what I'm thinking of? The one that you just dropped in chat, Hurt Scrambler? No, it's not. GBX. It's not one that I'm super familiar with. GBX. Greenbrier.
It's a REIT, isn't it?
Believe so.
I think so. A low price REIT. No, new concept energy. GBR. Oh, GBX.
GBX.
Sorry about that. Something's going on with this. It's getting taken out or something.
Why?
Right?
Why do you say that?
GPX, George
B boy. G's and boy. B's and boy.
All right, boy. B is in boy.
Oh, yeah, GBX.
Oh, GBX.
Yeah, GBX.
I got the company right. I got the chart wrong. Good day. Poking its head above. You really didn't have anything clear. You only had one high and one, at this level. So you had no business shortening yesterday. It looks pretty clear here up to this high, 47.24. Big 2-day move off 44. Really haven't had a 3-day. Well, this was a 4-day move right here when it went up to that $50 area. So looks like path of least resistance higher here, up to that 47.24 high. Spoos ain't dead yet. Back up near the highs of the session, 43 and a quarter. See if we get a late surge of buying here to take us through that current high. This is one of those days where that pre-market high was pesky, couldn't take it out in the morning. We had a pre-market high 43 and a quarter. Boom, open right up there this morning, couldn't take it out. So pesky area here. It doesn't mean we're going down, just means someone's taking some profits.
Plasma Lab is all about these infrastructure plays. is dropping Vulcan Materials on us, dropping Caterpillar, Deere, United Rentals. We could look at any one of those, Martin Marietta or Nucor. The all infrastructure is where Plasma Lab's head is at. So let's just pick one of those. Let's look at the cat. How's the cat doing?
The cat hat, French chapeau. You know what that's from?
Say it again. No,
I said it. My favorite kids, the cat in the hat.
Oh yeah, what about it?
My favorite. I just said a little saying from it.
Oh, okay.
The cat is on the move. 240. You had a 47-point break, so half of that, 48, 23 and a half. So you're coming up on it, coming up on halfway. We know we not always stop exactly there. So look at that, figure that exact 50% retracement. Then you got two red bars to work through here. The first of those red bars came on June 11th when you hit 227.92. So, I mean, you had some easy sledding through here. People got excited when it took out 219 today. But the two targets, 27.92, and then got to work your way through this bar here. For the actual fib retracement on this, right there. 223. So me, first time up, sell zone area. Let's see if it can get up here, hold a couple days, and we'll see if it was a sell the news opportunity. Like, it's all officially passed now, right? What's going on with the infrastructure bill? Is they gonna?
Yeah, it again at like 3 a.m.
That's right. Saw that this morning. Deere, on a relative strength basis, this has been the champ. Didn't sell off nearly as much. Big 3-day move in this as well. If you don't think it can keep going higher, here was like a 4-day move. So maybe a little bit left.
Oh, there's our closing bell. More highs, right?
Yep.
S&P, Dow, Russell in the green, NASDAQ in the red by a smidge. Most sectors, actually all sectors in the green except for healthcare, right?
Okay.
Yeah, healthcare, down 1% today. Everything else.
All right. I know you got a 4:00 interview.
That was
Boom.
All right.
Let you go.
All right, before I get to Rajeev Goel, as I said, he's the co-founder and CEO of PubMatic. Before we get to Rajeev, I want to do our very last crypto update of the day. We got some green on the screen. Oh, this is Cardano. Let me get Cardano off. Let me bring up a heat map here. There we go. Whoops. Green on the screen here. Let's get off that. In crypto land, continuing the theme from this morning, from this afternoon. ICP kind of your outlier there, but Bitcoin, Ethereum. Let's bring up some individual charts and look at these just for a second, and then I'll get to my guest. Bitcoin, we seem to have broken through that double top. We seem to have, at least for the moment, in Bitcoin up in mid 46,000 range. This is ICP. Guys, look at the volume increase in ICP these past couple of days, right? Obviously, it coincides with the breakout here, but we're in a long-term downtrend. But I mean, we've seen these before, right? These volume spikes that coincide with uptrends, temporary uptrends. When the volume subsides, the price goes back down. So I would keep a close eye on ICP. Here's Cardano. This has been your leader the past couple of days. It is still going parabolic. Zoom out to get some perspective there, but not nearly as big of a volume increase in Cardano, but it is going. I see $2 looks reasonable, right? It's not out of the question. $2 in ADA. If we are to keep this up, which remains to be seen. As a reminder that the Benzinga crypto update is brought to you by Voyager. Get $50 in free Bitcoin when you use the code ZING on Voyager. Deposit at least $100 and make your first trade with over 60 assets to choose from and annual yield earnings of up to 12%. Voyager is your launch pad into the world of crypto. Now, that being said, let's bring on my guest, Rajeev Goel. He's the co-founder and CEO of PubMatic, ticker PUBM. Rajeev, thank you for joining us. You had earnings, and that's where I want to start. At a high level, summarize the quarter for us.
Hey, Spencer, good to be on the show and good to be with your guests. So we had a really strong quarter, top line results, revenue growing 88% year over year. We combine that with really great profitability, 37% EBITDA margin, 20% GAAP net income. I'm not sure how many of your guests that have been on recently have both great top line growth as well as bottom line net income. But I think a really strong quarter for us. And really it's a reflection of investments that we've been making in the core business, strength that we see in our technology, and growth in internet consumption due to the pandemic.
So let's talk a little bit more about that growth. What segments is it coming from?
Well, our growth is coming from a couple of key areas. First is our connected TV or CTV business.
Yes.
So I'm sure people are watching more and more of their content, whether it's on a CTV device, streaming content, or maybe on a tablet or mobile app. And that's an area where we launched technology a little over a year ago, and that's become one of our fastest growing business segments. In fact, we grew that business from Q1 to Q2 by over 100% year over year. So really tremendous growth. We've got some great integrations now with the Trade Desk as well as with Google's TV marketplace. So they're bringing demand ad campaigns into our platform. And then we combine that with over 100 publishers now that are working with us in that area.
Those numbers, that growth with regards to connected TV or CTV, as you called it, would seem to jive with what Fubo said yesterday as well. They said that ad spending on their platform, let me see if I can find it here. It was up 281% year over year. Last quarter. So it just seems like, are we in early days of the connected TV advertising spend trend?
We absolutely are. This is a pretty nascent market, and typically what happens is ad dollars have to catch up to consumer behavior. And of course, consumer behavior was accelerated sharply last year due to the lockdowns, due to the pandemic, where everybody started, I think, spending more time on the internet and watching content in that way. And they shifted, how they watch from TV to all of the great streaming content that's out there. So we're very early, I think, in this transformation. And this is a segment of the industry that's expected to be roughly $35 billion by 2025. So pretty significant opportunity. But excitingly, that's actually smaller than some of the other markets that we participate in, like online video and mobile app. These are areas of our business that are growing at well over 100% year over year. And these areas are in the $1 to $200 billion in terms of size. So
what are the main mediums here? I was talking to Perrian Networks last Friday. They're in your space as well, and they're in connected TV. But he also talked up their social media presence there. What are the mediums where PubMatic is?
Yeah, and maybe it's helpful for your viewers if I just take 30 seconds to describe, what is it that we do.
Sure.
So PubMatic is a software company that powers real-time advertising on behalf of large publishers. So our companies are traditional publishers, our clients rather, traditional publishers like a News Corp, or e-commerce publishers like eBay, or mobile gaming publishers like Zynga. And what we do is we power real-time ad transactions where these publishers sell their ad space. And when they use our platform, they make significantly more revenue. And in fact, the scale of our platform is such that just in the short time that you and I have been talking, we've processed tens of millions of ads. And so this is a global technology company processing hundreds of billions of ads on a daily basis.
Is it fair to categorize PubMatic in some sense as a streaming play because of the nature of We just talked about connected TV spending, and as your report said, that and OTT spending is just continuing to increase. So in theory, it would stand to reason that a company like yours would rise with the rise in streaming.
So I think you're exactly right. And one of the strengths of our platform is that we are omni-channel, right? And the power of being omni-channel is that when we have publisher relationships, we have buyer relationships. Sometimes those buyers and publishers are transacting in CTV or over-the-top streaming, but sometimes they're also transacting in mobile app environments or short-form digital video. And so we're able to power ad transactions across all of those different devices and formats. And you see that reflected in our net dollar retention rate, 150% for the 12 months ended in June. So really strong revenue retention. And the power of that omnichannel platform is also reflected in the profitability of our business, where we're able to do more and more, including CTV, with each of our existing customers.
Can you tell us a little bit about just the current growth trend, not so much year over year, but just like sequentially, quarter over quarter? Because I'm seeing here, you're still down in terms of overall top line revenue. You're still, I guess, the Q4 was a fantastic quarter for you guys. But like as it relates to the last 3 or 4 quarters, where are you on the growth trend? Did you see a crazy spike during COVID, and how did that sort of mess with the general trend here?
Yeah, our growth has really been accelerating over the last couple of years, and certainly the pandemic is one driver of that. I think what we saw last year is that in right at the beginning of Q2, there was a significant slowdown in advertising and ad budgets. Is obviously the world was a very uncertain place, but then what we saw come out of that is a couple of things. One is consumers spending more time on the internet, right? People were more or less locked down at home, and so they turned to the internet for entertainment, for information, for work. But then a whole lot of other use cases that people traditionally don't do on the internet, they started to do those too on the internet. So I'm talking here about seeing your doctor, buying a car, online and having it delivered to you, fitness classes online, right? And these are all, really high value transactions. So people are spending more time. Advertisers want to deliver relevant ads to consumers. So that's been a real tailwind for our business. But we combine that with a really strong focus on investment and innovation. So we've been growing in mobile app, in digital video, in CTV at a really rapid rate. And so this year, for instance, our forecast is to grow 38 to 40% our revenue year over year. You can compare that to the market that's growing at roughly 20%. So we're really continuing to grow our market share and expand our share of the market.
Aside from general macro trends, is there another tailwind, another specific catalyst or specific tailwind that we should know about?
Yeah, so alongside the growth in internet consumption, another key tailwind for us is what's called supply path optimization. And this is a process by which major ad buyers, these are agencies and advertisers, they're consolidating their spend onto fewer, larger sell-side platforms like PubMatic. So for instance, almost a quarter of our business now is done via these supply path optimization agreements. And that's up from roughly 10% at the beginning of 2020. So even in a very fast-growing business, we've managed to more than double the share of our business coming from supply path optimization. And we've announced significant agreements with major agencies like WPP, IPG, as well as with major advertisers, where they are consolidating more of their spend onto our platform. And that's driving more revenue for our publishers, faster revenue growth for us, and increased profitability.
What is your general take on how the stock has been received on Wall Street? Obviously, you IPO'd a month or two before we sort of hit peak mania, in January, February of this year, maybe early March. What is your assessment of how the shares have been received?
Well, I think the tech industry in general over the last 7-8 months has been quite volatile, right? We've seen risk on and risk off due to inflation. We've seen shifts from large cap tech out of into mid cap, small cap, and then back into large. and that maybe is now starting to reverse a little bit as well. So there's been, I think, a relatively high degree of volatility across tech over the last 7 or 8 months. Now, add to that the fact that we're a relatively new story from a Wall Street perspective. Right, we went public in December, so it's barely been 8 or 9 months. So I think it's really incumbent upon myself and our CFO, Steve, to be out there, engaging with investors and telling our story. I think we have a great story to tell. Typically you evaluate companies on a rule of 40 basis. When you combine our revenue growth, 88% last quarter with 37% adjusted EBITDA margins, that's a pretty high scoring on that metric. But we've got to get out there and keep on telling that story to institutional investors as well as to retail or non-institutional investors, and that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Can you explain what exactly is the nature of the partnership with or the integration with the Trade Desk?
Yeah, absolutely. So Trade Desk, has been a great long-term partner for us. As obviously one of the largest and fastest growing demand side platforms in the industry. And for your viewers, what demand side platforms do is they help advertisers and agencies that have ad budgets that they need to deploy. They help those buyers deploy their ad budgets on the right ad impressions or the right ad opportunities. And they do that by bidding into our platform where we're managing all of the supply or the ad space on behalf of publishers. And so what we announced yesterday in our earnings call is that we've expanded our partnership with the Trade Desk by integrating into their deals marketplace for connected TV inventory and connected TV deals. So we're now bringing the inventory from our 114 CTV publishers into their environment where advertisers and agencies using their software can bid on and buy the inventory from those publishers. So we think that's super important given that Trade Desk is really proven itself to be a market leader in the connected TV space.
All right, Rajeev Goel is the co-founder and CEO of PubMatic. Chart up on the screen. They had earnings out last night, and they raised their guidance while they were at it. Rajeev, thanks a lot for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Spencer. Great to be with you. Have a great afternoon.
All right, you too. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Mike Rao is going live right now, I think. Should be in a few moments or so. He's going to do 45 minutes about how he uses Benzinga Pro and how he uses it to help him research and to trade stocks. So that'll be coming live next. That's it for me today. Please remember, as always, all the information from our show, frankly, from all of our shows, meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. That's a wrap for me. No, it's not a wrap for me. Not a wrap yet. Smash that like, then it's a wrap. Are we at 100 likes yet? Are we at 100 likes? We're not. Get me to 100. I will sit here in silence if I have to. Watch me. If we get to 100 likes, then I'll leave. But until then, we're just going to sit here. $71. Okay. I'll sit here all day if I have to. 74. $82. 3 dislikes. That's okay. However awkward you think it can get more awkward. I promise you. It can get more awkward. 92. I'm not done, guys. 94. Solar up. No, not to my knowledge. Solar up. Try refreshing. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Or hit up support. I'm having no problems on my Pro right now. In all seriousness. 98. Oh, we are on the cusp. All right, we're done. See you guys.